Good morning. Welcome to our Jesus meditation, attunement to the Aramaic Jesus. And we'll begin with the invocation from Hazrat Inayat Khan. We'll begin in English. Towards the One, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the spirit of guidance. And Aliella, if you want to speak it in Russian.
Единому совершенству любви, гармонии, красоты, единственно сущему, объединяясь со всеми просветленными душами, которые образуют воплощение мастера, путеводный дух.
Thank you, friend. So we're going to attune to the elements with the breathing practices of Inayat Khan, but we'll be attuning to the Aramaic words for these elements. We'll begin with the breath of earth, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. We breathe in Allaha. Allaha is that source of all the divine within every being and element. And then breathing out Ar-Ah is the word for earth in Aramaic, that foundation, finding our stability in our bones and our ligaments and tendons, what gives us some stability in life, and feeling that support of the earth beneath us. So again, breathing in Allaha through the nose and breathing out Ar-Ah through the nose. We'll attune to the element of water, breathing in through the nose, Allaha, and breathing out through the mouth, Maya. And again, just attuning to the water element, how it becomes living in our beings, to our blood, our sweat, our tears, seeing the green of the earth around us that is there because of the water, nourishing water, the rains. Breathing in through the nose, Allaha, and breathing out through the mouth, Maya. And the element of fire. As we breathe in through the mouth, breathing in, Allaha, and we breathe out through the nose, Nurra. And Nurra meaning light, intelligence, fire, the passion, the inspiration in our lives, the sun that gives light to the earth. So again, breathing in through the mouth, Alaha, and breathing out through the nose, Nuhra. And when we tune to the element of air, breathing in through the mouth, Alaha, and breathing out through the mouth, Ruha. Ruha being that word for spirit, soul, breath, the breath behind all breaths, the spark of life within us. Breathing in through the mouth, Alaha, breathing out through the mouth, Ruha. Attuned to ether. It's a combination of all of these elements alive within us. Breathing naturally, a refined breath. Breathing in, Alaha. Breathing out, Alaha. And giving thanks to all of these elements that give us life, that live through us. And we'll say the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic together. It's in the chat window for you if you need that. Avun Dabashmaya, Nekadash Shemach, Te Te Malchutach, Nehwe Sevianach Aikana Dabashmaya Afbar Havlan Lachma Desunkanan Yomana, Washbalchan Chaubin Waktahin, Aikana Dafkanan Shvakan Lachayobain, Wela Tatlan Lanashuna, Ela Patzan Min Bisha, Metul Delachi Malchuta, Wahaila Watashbukta, La Alam, Almin, Amen. Okay, so today we're continuing on with the Beatitudes, and I'll put this in the chat window for you, or beatitude for the day. So this is Tu Voyon Imath, or I'm sorry, Tu Voychun. It's a little bit different form of this blessed are. Tu Voychun Imath, Damhastin Lachun, Waradpin Lachun, Wamrin, Alekun, Kul Mila Bisha, Me Tolathi, Badal Gutha. That's a mouthful, isn't it? It's a little bit longer than some of our other ones. So the traditional translation of this is, blessed are you when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. So let's get a little bit more of an attunement to these words in Aramaic from Sadi's book. And so far, we have viewed the Beatitudes as a personal journey that begins with an awareness of our breathing. It is also personal in that it mirrors our journey from birth into and through life, just as did the sequence of the lines in Yeshua's prayer. We are born into the world of breath from our mother's womb, then reborn repeatedly each time we inhabit a new Malkuta. When developing ripely, each new I can becomes more conscious of reality itself. We are born from womb to womb, from Raham to Raham, until we shed our Besra, our flesh, the container, Bis, from our soul's light, Ra. As mentioned, the Beatitudes also describe the evolution of human consciousness itself. Our collective human self becomes more and more distant from nature and the world around us, including other human beings. On one hand, we begin to discover our individual Malkuta and Saba, our will and ability to create, like a child saying, I can do this myself. On the other hand, that I becomes ever more capable of forgetting where it came from, and so more able to act unrightly, or bisha. The Beatitudes in Matthew do not counsel us to settle down comfortably into a cave of moral certitude, but rather to engage honestly and justly with the appearances of the world around us. Disharmony and conflict become part of the process, coming to know ourselves, our origin, and our goal. This final beatitude comes in two parts. The blessed are part, followed by a separate sentence that reframes all of the sayings one more time. Tu wechun ima. The first word changes slightly here to be more direct. Ripe are you. Something we'll see Yeshua do again in Luke's Beatitudes. The second word, usually translated when, also means in the moment. He's talking directly to his listeners now. Damhastin lachun. The King James Version translates the first word as revile, damhastin, comes from a verb meaning to do something secretly or conspire, hus, with the motivation of envy or the goal of grasping something for oneself, ad. The Aramaic word hasad includes some of the most pernicious veils over our nafsha. While radapin lachun, radapin again points to the act of being pushed through or beyond who we thought we were. Here we are pushed even further. Wamrin alekun kul mila bisha. And voices are saying, Mrin, about us, alechun, completely cool, unripe, untrue, bisha, words, mila. You might ask, why worry about words? But 2,000 years ago, words determined very strongly how people saw and treated one another in a close community. Today, the effect may be less on the local level, but through the influence of social media, the effect of words can be even more devastating. Metholathi, for my sake. The Aramaic means because of me or on my account, but also points to connection. These things happen because we are connected to Yeshua as an inner supported and walk in his way. Vidagulatha, falsely. The final word refers to all of the projecting, pursuing, and unripe labeling that happens within ba, or falseness, dalgutha. The words also point to pretense, breaking a promise, piling up things, or being excessively grasping. Again, we are reminded that all of this is not the right way. We may think that this is all happening through other people doing things to us. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it results from our own subtle forms of denial, self-sabotage, and inflation, which prevent us from making healthy changes in our lives. Let's return to our general map. A deeper connection with our soul, Ruha, opens us to the vision and power, Malkuta, or reality itself. Our self, Nafsha, through forgetfulness, tends to veil us in falseness, to cover us with our increasingly selfie culture, unhealthy, sticky web. Being pushed through these self-imposed or self-accepted veils can help drive us back to our soul to find what we are looking for outside in stuff. To reaffirm what we found at the end of Yeshua's prayer, we all have to make our own choices about what rightness means now, individually and collectively. So Sadi's translation of this beatitude is, ripening now are those who, in the moment of being envied, pushed beyond their boundaries, spoken about unripely, follow my way and realize that all this is just the self's sticky web of pretense. So my attunement to this beatitude back when I was in the Christian church, I felt like the most important line or part of this beatitude is for my sake. So it's not just about the what are the bad things that people might say about you, but it's why are they saying it? It's because of the devotion to Jesus and his message. And so why would we be persecuted for Jesus' sake? What was Jesus preaching that people were saying evil, false things about them? He was preaching that the kingdom of God is within, that I am the way, the truth, and the life, that we can have a direct relationship with God, and preaching love and forgiveness and tolerance are the way. These were all challenging the structures, culture of the day, especially the religious culture. And so I think really the focus here is realizing that we're going to run into conflict when we stand in our truth, in the truth of that love and forgiveness. And I am going to also read for you the attunement from Anaya Khan, and he also goes in a similar direction as what I was just speaking about. So he says, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. So he actually kind of combines the two of the Beatitudes. So this advice is not given only to followers of Christ, but especially to murids, whose murshid bears a message. It means that they can only prove worthy when their faith in the teaching of their teacher is so great that they stand by him and his teaching in all conditions and suffer contentedly all that befalls them through the ignorance of man. For so it has been and will ever be with everyone who gives the message of truth. So I'll read that again. This advice is not given only to the followers of Christ, but especially to the murids whose murshid bears a message. It means that they can only prove worthy when their faith in the teaching of their teacher is so great that they stand by him and his teaching in all conditions and suffer contentedly all that befalls them through the ignorance of man. For so it has been and will ever be with everyone who gives the message of truth. I'm actually I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat window because Miriam missed that, and I want Miriam to be able to see this attunement from Anayat Khan. So let's I'm not gonna, with the past Beatitudes, we kind of gone through every word in the line to attune to it, but I'm kind of picking out some of the words that I think are maybe the most important or key words in here. So we'll begin with tu weichun emach. And again, remember that tu weichun is that more direct speaking of blessed are you, my devotee, my faithful ones, in this moment, imach. So the movement we can do for this is tu weichun, just having the hands open in front of the heart, receiving the blessing of this moment. So tu weichun imach. And then we'll focus on the words waradapin lachun, waradapin lachun. And this is similar to the beatitude from last week of that pushing beyond boundaries, that word for persecuted, but really it's holding to your truth, being pushed beyond your boundaries, the self-sacrifice, holding to the big T truth. So wadrapin lachun, again, just kind of an outstretching. So we'll come out from the heart, wadrapin lachun. And then we'll come back to metolathi with our hands in a prayer mudra in front of our hearts and bowing forward. So the metolathi is the word for my sake or because of me. And so this is just showing our devotion, our commitment to the message for love, for truth, harmony, and beauty. So matolati. So we'll go through that a few times. Tu vrechun imath, warada pen lachun, metolathi. 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 Tu vrechun imath, Wavrara pin lachun me tolathi. Tu vechoni ma. 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 Wavrara pin lachun me tolathi. 2 more times. Tu vechoni ma. Wavrara pin lachun me tolathi. Tu vechoni ma. Wavrara pin lachun me tolathi. And bringing that onto the breath. Breathing out tu vechon. Breathing in imaf, the blessing in this moment. Wavrara pin lachun, breathing out. And breathing in me tolathi. Attuning to that teacher within, the truth, the way, the life. Breathing out tu vechon. Breathing in imaf. Breathing out wavrara pin lachun. And breathing in me tolathi. And if you want, you can simplify it even more and just focus in on the heart with me tolathi. Me tolathi, attunement to the message, to the teacher. Uvaikmoni math Alrada Pendlachun Metolati. Blessed are you now in this moment, you, my devotee to the message. You are ripening in each moment that you are met with conflict for holding to your truth for the sake of truth, love, forgiveness, tolerance, harmony, beauty, pushing beyond the boundaries of what is comfortable for you or for those around you. Blessed are you. Amen. Thank you. We'll close our attunement together with the prayer Pure by Vajradhanayak Khan, returning to our teachers, our guides, through this beautiful prayer. Inspire of my mind, consoler of my heart, healer of my spirit. Thy presence lifteth me from earth to heaven. Thy words flow as a sacred river. Thy thought riseth as a divine spring. Thy tender feelings waken sympathy in my heart. Beloved teacher, thy very being is forgiveness. The clouds of doubt and fear are scattered by thy piercing glance. All ignorance vanishes in thy illuminating presence. A new hope is born in my heart by breathing thy peaceful atmosphere. O inspiring guide through life's puzzling ways, in thee I feel abundance of blessing. Thank you.